more or less burst on the scene in 1988 with this horse. They were double gold medalists at the Seoul Olympics in team and individual. They proceeded to do the same thing in 1990 at the World Championships in Stockholm, and the same thing in 1992 at Barcelona. In her first warm-up phase, she did ride Rembrandt quite round and deep, not stressing him particularly, but riding him low and with his chin tucked in towards his chest and the pole not the highest point. Now, as she's schooling the working pirouettes, he's in a much more what we think of as normal frame, and you'll see that as she schools the pirouettes, she doesn't once do one as she would in the competition itself, which, by the way, she won 2 days later in the Grand Prix. But she works him on the circle in travers, brings him in, spirals, makes him be more collected, takes him back out, and so on. Bear in mind, especially, that he's an older horse at this point. It's not that he needs to know anything new about pirouettes, but he has to be fit, strong, calm, and relaxed, and if those things are happening, the pirouettes are going to work. It had occurred to me at one point while I was doing this taping that the one thing I had neglected to bring with me was a chainsaw. And I desperately wanted to do some rearranging to the flora here, but unfortunately she manages to disappear behind that tree every so often, but I hope you can get the general idea of the way she goes about schooling him. Might want to look closely at how her aids vary stride by stride, step by step. If you look at her inside hip, or look at her outside calf, or what her inside leg is doing, you'll see that she's not just sitting there and applying the recipe, but her aids are very variable depending on how she feels he needs her assistance.